What's going on, doozers, and welcome to another episode on the Shadowtopia server. This is going to be episode 4. I cannot believe we've gotten this far already. And, oh, no spoilers. No spoilers. So, we're doing something a little bit different here today. Over the last few days, I have been working on a lot of projects, and I've noticed that there's been a theme to these projects. They've all involved animals. So, we're going to get right into it. We're going to start this episode with building a brand new shop with Doodlemoose called the Panda Express. And it all kind of started out because, well, she wanted 2 of my pandas. So we got 2 out of 5 successfully moved. I don't think that's too bad, right? It's not bad. We also, in the process of doing that, decided, hey, let's open a shop and we'll sell pandas. So that's what we did. And then I decided to build a sheep farm. So we're going to get into that a little bit. And then we wrapped everything up with this episode. We'll be wrapping it up with the brand new tavern I'm building over at the docks. So hang tight because this ride's going to get a little bit bumpy.
We've moved successfully. We've moved 2 out of
5. 2 out of 5.
Oh, we don't even have a 50% success rate.
No, but the last 2 came through without a hitch. We are professionals.
Go into business.
Yes, we will be Panda Express.
I love it. Let's do this.
Okay.
I will build a thing for you.
And we'll discuss and figure out what we're gonna name them. the 2 that we have left now, the breeding ones. Joe Panda's still there, but I think we killed Nacho.
We killed Mama?
I think we killed Nacho Panda, yeah.
Oh.
He's a rolly little guy. Look at him. He's just rolling around.
Tumbleweed is a roller. I have no shady plans for these guys at all.
Mm-hmm. All right, so yeah, I will let you build Panda Express, and then I'll move over. Oh, whoa, you got big. And then we'll move over the other 2 pandas over there so that we can start breeding them up. And
I think, okay, Doozer, I think we need to put 2 pandas away in case of panda stupidity. So we have 4 pandas over there, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Although moving these pandas, like breeding these ones and moving them into the portal, isn't that hard either. So there's always that option. Like we can decide which ones are closer.
Yeah, that's true. Also, will it be bad to have pandas at spawn?
2 to 4 isn't going to be a big issue because they're not really pathfinding that much.
Yeah.
But if we had like a ton of them, it would be.
Okay, good to know.
Yay! So we got a new shop. We got the Panda Express.
Panda Express!
Panda Express! High five!
Oh yeah! Come back here!
3, 2. Okay, guys, so one of the things that we're going to be doing in this episode is we are going to be working on a sheep farm. Now, this is not necessarily like to get food or anything. This is actually just going to be so that we can get different colored wool. So what I've done so far is I built a proof of concept that works wonderful. And I'm going through right now and I'm putting on the final touches to get these to work. So the way it works is we have a chest with a hopper going into it. And then we're putting a rail on top of that. Then what we're going to do is we are going to, behind these, we're going to be putting in a observer. And actually, we can go ahead and add those in right now. Let's see here. So we need this to face. This way I should have put that in last. There we go. So these observers have to actually go right here. Just like that. So we're going to go ahead and put these observers in quick. Just like that. And the reason we're going from the back is, again, because of observers and the way they work, we want to make sure that the front is facing a grass block, which is what we're going to be activating. Then we're going to come back and we are going to put a single piece of redstone dust behind each of these, which does mean that that path has to come out. There we go. 1, 2, And then we're going to be putting a dispenser on top of each of these observers. Okay, now what we're going to do is we are going to take our minecart with our hoppers and we're going to put it on top. And I'm going to do this one quick and then I'm just going to get the rest of them knocked out. We're going to knock out the rail underneath of it. We're going to put a piece of dirt there. We're going to come up here and we're going to put a regular piston on top. And we're going to sink it down into that just like that. Then the final thing, before we get rid of this, is we're going to put a staircase there. That way we can still access the chest, but it keeps all of this out of the way. There you go. Get rid of that. And this one is now active and ready to go. So I'm going to do that 14 more times. All right, so there we go. We are all set up. Now, I know these don't look like a bunch of colored sheep. A couple of them do, but as soon as you put them in and this thing starts working, man, it starts working. So we're getting green wool, red, pink, magenta, white, brown. We got all the colors. And really what we got to do now is just kind of sit and AFK this for a little bit. Just let it run, let it do its thing, and it will produce lots and lots of wool. So we're just going to let this do its thing. We're going to bunker down here and just let it go. So see you in a bit. Guys, so it is now the next morning. I have AFK'd this farm for around about 6.5 hours, 7 hours, something like that. And we did pretty good. I mean, it's doing what it wanted, what I needed it to do. It did. I did get kicked from the server at some point during the night, so it's not as much as I would have hoped. And I do know that Doodle came over and grabbed some of the black and the white wool, but it looks like it made up for it. So we're well on our way to getting the shop open. A couple more days of AFKing, and we will be ready to rock and roll. The good news is we have enough wool now that we can start working on the Panda Express. Now, I did set up a creative test world where I was working on some ideas for how this Panda Express is going to work. And we're going to hop over to that right now because I think it is absolutely amazing. So hang tight. We're going to get right over there. We did a full 180. Nah, just kidding, guys. So here we are over at my creative testing world. And we're going to just show you real quick how this is going to work. So the original concept that Doodlemoose is doing is she is building a sitting panda holding a Chinese takeout box. And the reason is because we're going to name this the Panda Express. So let's go ahead and get rid of some of these entities real quick. There we go. So what's going to happen is people are going to come into here and there'll be a chest. They'll put in a diamond block, and that diamond block is going to make a boat and 2 pieces of bamboo. Then what they're going to do is they're going to come over and they're going to give the bamboo... Nope, I can't give them to these guys. Okay. Hey, bud. You weren't supposed to do that. You were supposed to make babies. So now you're gonna make babies. There we go. So what's gonna happen is we're going to breed the pandas, and they're gonna make the baby panda. The baby panda is going to get shot up a water stream, and then the Oriental Riff is going to play in the background, kind of like it just did. It falls out of the Chinese takeout container and directly into a boat. Now, let me show you the redstone, because it's not overly complicated, but it's complicated. So over here, we have our sorting system, and this is what's going to sort out all the diamond blocks and not allow anything else in. And then that's also what's going to trigger the two droppers and the dispenser there. So that's the boat, and that is 2 pieces of bamboo. Then what I'm doing is over here, we have an observer attached to a piece of string. And whenever the panda falls down into this, it knocks the string, the observer sees it, and it gets shot out with this sticky piston and slime block into the water stream. Now, we're taking a signal off of that observer, we're bringing it to a monostable circuit, and we're bringing it in here. This is the sticky piston, but then that's also hooked up to these note blocks, which makes the Oriental Riff. So now that we've got the basics of the redstone design, we took, Doodle and I spent, I think, about 3.5 hours working on how this redstone is going to work, how the design of the building is going to look. So now that we have this, now we can start getting it built over on the Shadowtopia server. So let me shoot us right back over to Shadowtopia. In that wonderful contraption that we built, and yes, we're keeping the song I Don't Care. It's awesome, and I love it. And as you can see up in the top right corner of the screen there, I have Hero of the Village. Just because I had to go run over and help Yokai Wolf. He accidentally started a raid over at his base, and I love raids, so I'm down. But in the meantime, what's going on is I AFK'd this for, like I said, about 6.5, 7 hours yesterday, and the production is good, but it could be better. And let's face facts. Like I said at the beginning of the season, somebody made a comment that I acted like Doc. And if they want to see Doc, I'm going to be Doc. So grind, optimize, automate, thrive. So since this is working well, we're going to double it up and make a second one. Because 2 is always better than 1. So let's go ahead and get this built. And we may do this in the form of a quick time lapse. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that time lapse. And again, I always credit the music in my descriptions, but just so that I'm actually giving a verbal shout out this time around, the time lapse music that I use is by Declan, and the music title is Blue. Definitely go check his music out. He does all of his own stuff, and the best part about it is he doesn't have like any copyrights or any of the. He's got the copyrights, but he doesn't do copyright strikes or anything. You can use it for your videos as long as you credit him. And I mean, definitely go check his channel out. He just came out with a brand new one called Stay Home, which I appreciate. So go check his music out. If you're looking for time lapse music, especially, his stuff is great. But this is now all done. So all that we got to do now is get sheep in here. As you can see, we already have it all filled up with the shears. So now it's just a matter of stocking this with product. Let me go start getting that. All right, guys. So we are over at the shopping district, and we have finished the Panda Express. That's right. It's done. And check it out. So let me just shoot up here where we can take a look at it. So this is what Doodle has done with the Panda as far as the design. I think it looks great. And let's get down into the nuts and bolts of this. So we have Welcome to Panda Express, and we have a panda bear holding a slime ball and a bamboo shoot. Now the bamboo shoot's because of what they eat, and the slime ball because, well, everybody loves the sneezy panda. Then we have a book. So the book says, Welcome to the Panda Express. To obtain a panda, simply put 1 diamond block in the payment chest. Walk to the left foot, receive your bamboo. A boat will be placed automatically for you outside. Feed the pandas in 1 pen, and they will breed. The baby panda will fall down and be dispensed for you into the boat. When the music plays, you will be able to see your brand new baby panda floating up to a water stream to its awaiting boat. Please keep in mind that once your panda has been dispensed, Panda Express maintains no liability for the safety of your new friend. Note, it is easier to move pandas when they are babies. Enjoy. And that's the truth. These guys are definitely a lot easier to move as baby pandas. So if we come over here, we can get right down into the actual redstone of this. Now, again, the beautiful thing is that since we're in a mushroom biome, I don't even have to light this up. I mean, there's no mobs. But in any case, the observer with the strings right here comes down into the monostable, and we have this lengthened by using kind of a hopper clock here. And when the item, which is a wooden shovel, goes through the system, this will trigger this, which will activate the sticky piston and slime block. It goes into the note blocks, plays the music, and then your diamond will actually go in, cycle into a payment chest, and then also trigger the dispensers to put out the bamboo and the boats. So it's a pretty easy redstone circuit to make. It didn't really, once we figured out how to do it, it wasn't crazy hard to do. So that is the Panda Express, and of course we have all of our boats over here so that we can. Now that's interesting. There's a lot of missing boats. But we have all of our boats over here. Now, unfortunately, I did record a whole bunch of us actually building this, and I changed some settings on my computer, so I got a lot of audio of me building. I got a lot of audio of people talking to me, and no audio of me talking to them. So that is a little bit of an issue, but the idea is that there is now a panda shop in the shopping district, and it is 1 diamond block for a baby panda. I think it's a really reasonable price. Now we're gonna get over to the shopping district, or the main base, because there's something else that we built. And again, same situation. I recorded it in a third-person time lapse, which is great, considering that most of the rest of my audio that I've recorded this week has been lost to the nethers of the world. That teaches me to actually make sure that I'm actually recording myself and not just, pretending. Um, all right, so let me break this down for you. We may have also played a prank. Um, Doge and Squiddy. Well, Squiddy posted a video about a fried Cadbury cream egg. Yeah, listen, I'm from the United States. We fry Oreos and Snickers, so I mean, I guess it's okay. But apparently in Scotland, they deep fry Cadbury cream eggs. And I mean, it sounds disgusting, but something tells me it's probably awesome. In any case, we left them a little present at their base, and it was a deep fried Cadbury cream egg, and I even went so far as to get a recipe for it and put it in a book so that they had it. Now, my biggest fear is that they did the same thing that we did, and I'm not seeing it yet. Okay, it doesn't look like they did. So in ours, we actually put 2 puffer fish. Looks like that got taken care of already. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this cleared out, and then I'll show you while I'm clearing this out. Go ahead and enjoy the time lapse of this tavern being built, and then I'll take you on a quick tour of it. All right, guys. So that pretty much finishes this up. Now, we did do a little stuff with the armor stands. So we have one up here, two armor stands here actually to give us a sign. And then I actually used armor stands themselves in order to make this rope going across here. Then, coming inside, that's been spun around, there we go. Coming inside now, we still have some work to do here, but we do have our tavern. So we have the bar, and then I put a bird head and a potion brewer there. Just kind of make it look bar-tendy stuff. I don't know. I'm saying words. We did add in a fireplace. We added some bushes, and then one of the things I really love is using the dead bushes from the savannah in a pot with a leaf on top of it. It's the most natural looking way to get a potted plant, other than just throwing, you know, like plants in there. So this is the first floor. This is the tavern. Now, every tavern, or at least, you know, the way I've always seen taverns back in this time period, has a second floor with some bedrooms in it, and very rarely are the stairs going from inside the building. It's normally from the outside that you get in, and that's exactly what I did. So we have a couple of these little rooms. They have chests, beds, some bushes, a little table, and I made, I believe, 5 or 6 of these little rooms. And the really nice thing is that it also serves as my respawn point now. So whenever we're playing, whenever I'm working in here, I actually have a place now that I can just come to and respawn, get everything set, you know, just in case I die. So I feel like we've gotten a lot accomplished, and I do believe that's going to wrap us up for this episode. I hope you enjoyed that time lapse. I know it was, for you, it was probably about 1.5 minutes. For me, it was closer to, I think I was working on that for about 6 hours. So there was a lot of time spent in that. In any case, guys, I want to thank you for hanging out with me. If you're not already subscribed, consider hitting the subscribe button. If you want to get notified whenever I put a new video up, hit that bell notification icon. And then don't forget, over in my description, I have everybody else linked in there. So feel free to check them out. As always, this is DiamondDoozer, and I'm out.